put my face on that bitch. Alright, my face is on. Alright. So, this video right here is about how Indian tribes, no matter wherever the fuck you are, if you're in Canada, if you guys are in fucking the United States, Puerto Rico, motherfucking Hawaii, nigga, the whole Americas. Well, I don't even think Hawaii is the Americas. I don't know. Could be. But, yeah. You do what the fuck you want. Watch.
Inside this store in Montreal, a man is planning to break the law to make a point. He's invited us to watch as long as his identity is hidden. What he's buying doesn't matter. It's the savings he's trying to score at the cash that he wants us to see.
You take my Indian card?
Yes, we do.
Yeah, okay.
The cashier thinks she has...
You heard him? You take my Indian card? Yes, we do.
Just been handed what's known as an Indian status card, an official government document. She removes the taxes without catching on that it's not the real thing.
It was $8.20 without tax, but if you paid full price, it was...
She said, it's not the real thing. How the fuck is it not the real thing? Because it's not a federal ID makes it not real? I don't know.
$9.60, I think.
The savings are tiny, just $1.
Shit. I'm coming back. I forgot my money.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, just put that on the side. Okay, thanks.
We walk before a transaction is completed, so no laws are broken.
Merchants don't know the law,
He know he cut the camera and bought that shit, because I would have.
so they'll take anything that's, being presented to them.
These men are blowing the whistle on a group they used to belong to. They say the group's members are getting tax breaks they're not entitled to by using almost look-alike Indian status cards.
I know some.
See how this woman is saying that these motherfuckers is not entitled to? How the fuck are you gonna say they're not entitled to anything? You don't know where the fuck these niggas' families been.
Somebody that do some renovation. on his house.
I don't want to mention the name.
Yeah, saved over 35 grand in taxes.
Here's what an actual government-issued status card looks like. Those with status can be entitled to a range of benefits, including tax exemptions. Now this is the card being passed off to unsuspecting shopkeepers. In a hurry, you can see how it could be taken as the real thing.
The Mohawk Council of Kahnawake election law meeting takes
Exemptions. Now this is the card being passed off to
I see this shit. This is Government Confederation of Aboriginal People. I don't know what the fuck that shit says. Of Canada. Given name. Has a name on it. Territory. Community. Nations. Registry number. Expiration date. Date of birth. So this is a ID. This is a real ID.
Suspecting shopkeepers. In a hurry, you can see how it could be taken as the real thing.
The Mohawk Council of Kahnawake election law meeting takes place tonight at 6.
And that is causing real problems here, 20 minutes south of Montreal. On the reserve of 8,000 people, the Mohawks of Kahnawake. What you have to know about them is they won a rare victory to use their status.
Hey, this one about the Mohawks. This is about your cousins. This is about your cousins. They on your land.
Fuck off my land.
Fuck off my land, bitches.
Cards at a range of stores in Quebec, not just on reserve.
These are all fake cards, every single one of them.
It was working well until the look-alike cards started showing up.
If you look at the cards, they're pretty well done.
That's when the local police, known as the Peacekeepers, got involved.
That's a fake card. And that's a real card.
They're getting calls because shopkeepers are confused and suspicious.
This is happening quite a bit. And for us, for people in our community and other Native communities who have a legitimate right to receive goods tax-free, we fear that it will impact their rights somewhere down the road.
Dwayne Zachary is the chief peacekeeper. Says his team have confiscated roughly 100.
What'd you say?
I said, they just don't want to share it. They're greedy as fuck. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
Because how the fuck are they fucking up your tax breaks? They not. You still gonna get it.
Right.
You just don't want nobody else to get it. You a hater.
Right. Hell
You hate
yeah.
on niggas.
100 cards, and that transactions occurred daily.
So you're afraid that because some people are committing fraud,
you're going to end up paying.
Of course.
In a way, it's already happening. Real cards are being turned away.
Somebody is making this happen. Somebody is giving them the hope that they have these rights. You know, somebody's giving them the means to commit these crimes.
What?
To turn away a real card? You
Yeah.
can't turn away somebody with real Indian status, right?
Right. My cousin just said that should be illegal. Turning away somebody with real Indian status or with Indian status, period.
You know, and my feeling is that these associations, whoever they are, whoever's in charge, you know, are the catalyst for all of this.
So where do these cards come from? Many, he says, from the Confederation of Aboriginal People of Canada. Sounds official, but the Assembly of First Nations doesn't recognize it. Neither does the government of...
Now, if you can look that shit up and you can really go buy one of these IDs or whatever the fuck, then that means it's something real. Why is that? Because these corporation tribes was created so our families can get paid any fucking way. So that's just what they're doing. They're not going through their fucking federal government. They're doing that shit on their own.
And if it was so illegal, the government would have been shut it down.
Exactly, and if it was so fucking illegal, the government would have been shut their ass fucking down. They came in there shooting. The fuck are y'all doing?
Canada. For the people in this community, people of Canada. Sounds official, but the Assembly of First Nations doesn't recognize it. Neither does the government of Canada.
It looks like they have a bingo hall. Okay, no. I thought that was there.
For the people in this community hall in Quebec, though, all
they do have a place to host the event, so that's cool.
Federation members, the group is legitimate, and Guillaume Carl is their leader. Titles and the appearance of prestige seem to matter to Carl. He insists his membership voted to refer to him as His Excellency or Grand Chief. His sons...
His Excellency.
Nigga, you refer to me as Excellency.
You refer to me as Excellency, nigga.
No way, nigga. I was like, nah, I can't be a part of the tribe. I'm sorry.
What the
The leaders of the youth wings. And he says there are 50,000 members nationally and a few hundred in Gatineau. But he blames the poor turnout this day on our cameras.
Anybody against this resolution?
This is a man emboldened by the people around him.
Motion is carried unanimously.
After a meeting about new positions in the group, he agreed to sit and talk. Are your members led to believe that in using your cards, that they can get tax exemptions in certain circumstances?
No, because it goes way beyond that.
People don't try to
Do you
use
think
these
people
cards
get
for
the
tax
card here for
exemptions?
taxes?
I have no idea. But I do know that the Ganawagi are claiming that they have seized those cards because
Illegally.
people have been trying
Illegally.
to use them for tax
And you know what?
exemptions.
When they seize it, the guy comes and gets another card. Our card is not a tax card. Our card.
Oh God. He said, you take my shit, I'm gonna go get another one, bitch. Fuck you. And you hear him, he said they're taking them illegally. You can't legally take my shit, bitch.
Is a card for your identification.
Where would members get the idea that their ID card might be something they could pull out at a store for tax breaks? We'd been curious about that for a while. So weeks earlier, an associate producer contacted the Confederation as a would-be member, not a journalist.
How far away is St. Paul Road?
She was directed to someone just outside Ottawa. Our crew headed off with hidden cameras.
Hi.
The representative is described as the Vice Grand Chief of the Confederation.
Come on in. But that's the application that we have to send, and it's $80 for 2 years. So that's the card.
Before long, the conversation turns to the cards.
Okay, so for, I guess their little government shit, their little scheme is they're charging for membership. What she say? She said like $80 for 2 years or $40 for 2, whatever the fuck, I don't know.
It for tax savings is no secret here.
Walmart, Canadian Tire, home hardware, you know. If they don't, just say, well, this is my card. This is.
Chief, you know he told that bitch to tell people that they can get the tax break.
Right, hell yeah.
So that's the that's the best part.
That's the best part of his fucking ID.
What the fuck?
Hell yeah.
My Indian status. If they don't,
Following that advice would be against the law. It's fraud. The stores that take off tax improperly, if caught, will eventually have to reimburse the government.
So what do you do? When you go to pay, you just give them the card first, and then they just...
Walmart, they're very fussy. So you have to give them their card, the card, and they punch numbers and things like that, and automatically it's the tax is reduced.
Yes, sir.
How do you feel about that?
I disagree with that. That's obviously not the opinion of the Confederation. It's the opinion of my vice chief.
Where did she make a mistake? What is it that she said
made
that's the
15
mistake?
mistakes, right? She is junior. She's a nice person. But she's junior enough to not know what she's talking about.
He doesn't elaborate, but we've followed up with the representative who says everything she explained on that hidden camera conversation was what she was told by the Confederation.
Yeah.
She also says she believed the cards were official. Why not
Yeah, you're right.
tell your members, don't use these cards for tax exemptions?
Because I'm not their father or mother.
The government of Canada does not recognize this card as
You are their chief, though, so if you tell a motherfucker to do something, they will do it.
being legitimate for tax exemptions, period.
That's their opinion.
The way he sees it, the Constitution is on his side.
Article 15 says equality in front of the law. If you're allowed to do something, I should be allowed to do something too. The same thing. You can't.
That's fucking true. This nigga's using his Constitution to empower his bloodline. Hint, hint.
Discriminate against me, and you can't say that because I don't live on a reserve, I can't hunt, I can't fish, I have to pay taxes. This month.
Bottom line for Carl,
He's absolutely fucking right. Like, nigga, just because I don't live on a fucking reservation, I don't live on my family reservation, who the fuck are you to tell me I gotta pay your taxes? You know? Because one, we're not bound by no man's institution unless you sign your fucking rights over to them to be governed by them. So if I want to be governed by the Choctaw Nation, I would go tell them, hey, this is my bloodline. This is where I come from. Here goes my mom. Here goes my dad. I am however the fuck much Choctaw I am, you know? And then that's who I want to be governed by. So that's who would be governing me. Even if I'm not, you know, a legal citizen of their nation, you know, for jurisdictional reasons, you don't always have to be a citizen of the nation. What the fuck is falling? Oh. That shit scared me.
Sorry.
But yeah, so for legal purposes or jurisdictional purposes, you don't have to be a citizen of your nation. You feel me? You just gotta have your documentation of your Indian peoples.
his members should get the rights because they are indigenous. But are they?
You can have only 1%, and you are.
So you can join if you only have 1%.
Oh, yeah.
Carl told us.
I can show you how they are real quick. If I can find it. Pull my paper, just went. Okay, this is a book. In this book, you got different type of Indians and shit. Women teachings. It's not what we're looking for. Slide one, something on. I'm gonna let this play real quick.
About 90% of his members pass a DNA test. And indeed, in that hidden camera meeting.
Alright, now, what the fuck is this book called? Okay, this book is called American Indian Women. Now, in this book, you feel me, it tells you some black Indians, then a couple pages over, you have the white Indians. Let me see. Where the fuck are the white Indians? Oh, right here. The white Indians. And it tells about how these motherfuckers was mixing with the peoples in this area right here. You feel me? So you ever want to learn about this book right here, or why he's doing what he's doing, you feel me, with his tribe?
There was a $250 test.
Do you ever have people take the DNA test and they just come back not native? Like, is that common, or?
I never saw it so far because we just started.
Carl's DNA tests are done through a Canadian company called Vigard Accumetrics, and this company claims that through its testing kit, its results can not only help determine the percentage of native ancestry in your DNA, but that these results can also help you to receive a status card. The thing is, the government of Canada doesn't recognize these sorts of DNA results as an indicator of Indigenous status.
Okay.
We thought we'd try to see how accurate Vigard's results are.
So with that being said, they just making money. They're just making money off their fucking little government, their tiny ass government that they put together.
Plus, 3 colleagues agreed to help and let us test to see if they have any Indigenous DNA.
I'd be shocked if that test discovers anything else but Russia.
He was born in Russia, the other 2 in India, and they're pretty sure the answer will be 0 Indigenous ancestry. We follow Vigard's instructions to the letter, then send off the samples. Within a few weeks, the results are back, and they're a surprise. Okay, so the results are in. This is yours. This is yours. Have a look. Huh?
Okay.
What have you got there?
I've got 20% Native American ancestry, 12% Abenaki, and 8% Mohawk.
I'm exactly the same.
Me too.
12 and 8.
Surprising, to say the least.
This is the sort of anomaly that needs an explanation.
Okay.
So we went to Simon Gravel in the Department of Human Genetics at McGill University. Is it possible to tell if someone has Indigenous ancestry from the DNA?
Yes, it's absolutely possible. It's not the same as saying whether someone is or is not Native American, as a question of identity, but we can tell very well whether somebody has, for example, a lot of Native relatives.
What are the chances that these 3 very different people have exactly the same percentage of Native American ancestry right down to the band?
Yeah, extremely unlikely. Like, how much faith do I put in these reports? I would say personally, none.
We asked Vigard to explain these results. It told us many people find themselves in the range of 20% Indigenous ancestry. It also says the test we bought was just for information. To be legally valid, it would have to be done by a trained healthcare professional, one who wears latex gloves and a mask.
So did you say you're trained to do it? Is that the idea?
Yeah.
So what, like...
Guillaume Carl insists the tests done for the Confederation are legally valid, conducted only by trained testers. But just take a look at the DNA swab they did for our associate producer in that hidden camera footage. No gloves. He even appears to touch the swab before putting it in her mouth. In any way, does this call into question the legitimacy, in your mind, of anyone in your membership?
No.
He is unyielding. But so are the voices from the Ganawaki Reserve, where frustration with Carl and his group is building.
They tell us that they have ancestry, they've done the DNA tests, they tell us sometimes that they're probably more Native than we are. Sometimes it feels like a slap in the face.
And government officials told CBC they have advised Carl to stop distributing cards that resemble certificates of Indian status. He says he won't. Do you find it amazing that the government hasn't come after you in some way? Or
No, because they're not going to win.
Far from being contrite, Guillaume Carl seems primed for a fight. He has his members and his story, and so far, he has his way. So, Ian, Indigenous Services Canada tells us that it's been contacted by a few agencies on this matter. So, the Canada Revenue Agency, Sûreté de Québec, and the RCMP, and that it's cooperating with them on their own investigations, and that it has retained a third-party I guess, to review some of these allegations, and there is a report on those expected probably by the end of this month.
So 3 of our colleagues, 2 born in India, 1 born in Russia, all came up with exactly...
See? Ain't shit gonna happen to that ass, and ain't shit happen to that ass, and you feel me? Because they know. Canada's government know. These are the descendants of the people that was here, that was mixing with the, you know, people that was coming over here. So they ain't gonna do shit to them. That's it, and that's all.
Audio Jungle.